Hello, Chandler. This is Councilmember Mark Stewart, and thank you for joining me today on Emerging Chandler. I am so lucky and fortunate to have my guest here today. We're going to talk about Downtown Chandler, kind of where we were, where we are today, kind of where we're going. I'm joined by Kim Moyers, our Cultural Development Director for Downtown, and you've been with the city a number of years, so hopefully you can tell folks about your involvement with the city and what's been going on in downtown. And Spike Lawrence, developer here in the city. Your family's been part of the community for decades, and you've done some wonderful things in downtown. You also are downtown Ocotillo was one of your projects as well. So we're joined by Spike. He's going to share some of his vision for downtown, and then Rebecca Hill, who is our new CEO and executive director for the Downtown Chandler Partnership, which is a group of owners that own businesses in downtown, and they meet monthly to kind of talk about events and kind of where the city's heading or the downtown's heading in the future. So it's an exciting panel. And I think for us, kind of knowing where we're going is kind of the exciting part of Chandler. Some really good projects coming on board. So Kim, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Kim Moyers. I'm the Cultural Development Director. I actually started here 9.5 years ago as the Downtown Redevelopment Manager. And after about 5.5 years, they created a new department of our destination drivers. And that new department was called Cultural Development. And I was fortunate enough to receive that position. And that has the Downtown Center for the Arts, all special events in the museum. So all things that make us unique and different are in my department.
That's great. And thanks for all you're doing. Spike, I mean, decades. Like, tell us
Lifetime.
about that.
Yeah, lifetime. Native Arizonan, proud of it, and graduated from Corona del Sol High School in Arizona State. Started a development company in '93, and when all the other guys were headed to Scottsdale to develop retail and office, which is primarily what I do, I moved south and just stuck a flag in the ground in Chandler and said, this is a city I'm going to be invested in for a long time. So in '98, started the development of the Falls at Ocotillo, at Alma School in Queen Creek, and then downtown Ocotillo, Holiday Inn, St. Alman, and then watched with great marvel at what Niels Kripke and Peter Shaka and others were doing in downtown Chandler. I said, God, I got to get in. I got to get into downtown Chandler. And so Kim encouraged me to pursue some RFPs, and fortunately was able to secure the one across from City Hall and develop New Square.
Oh, wow.
Right through COVID.
And and we're so grateful that you won that request for proposal and put a bid on that particular piece of property, because that has turned into the crown jewel of our downtown. And we have so many great things, especially our old square, got New Square, and you've been a part of the DCCP for a while. But Rebecca, tell us what the DCCP is doing, kind of where we're headed.
Sure. Well, DCCP, I'm so glad to be able to represent Downtown Chandler on the panel today, so thank you for the opportunity. The Downtown Chandler Community Partnership is in collaboration with Kim's department, and we represent all of the small businesses in downtown and some of the developers and the business owners and the building owners, landowners. And so it's a great collaboration. It's a great team, a great family. We all work well together, bringing some downtown events, like I said, in collaboration with Kim's department, providing some marketing opportunities. We really want it to be a destination for downtown Chandler.
Well, I think we are there. We weren't always there, though, Kim.
No.
There was a time when downtown was a little different.
Yes,
and
it was.
So maybe give us a little history lesson on where we were maybe 30, 40 years ago.
You bet. You know, the city councils of the past really had a great vision of what they wanted downtown to be. A lot of time, actually 9.5 years ago when I started, if it wasn't underneath the colonnade, what we call the historic square, nobody was interested in coming to downtown Chandler. But the council saw the vision and saw opportunities for expansion many years ago and started assembling properties, buying smaller properties, assembling them and putting them out for RFPs, requests for proposals. And it's from those large RFPs that we were able to do larger developments such as New Square and being able to bring partners like Spike in. So it really was the vision of many years ago. I say it all the time, downtown redevelopment is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It takes many years to do. And what we've seen over the last decade is really that expansion from the historic square all the way down to Fry, and now we're seeing it go from Fry down to Pecos.
Yeah, and I think it's going to continue to gain energy. And so you talked a little bit about being part of downtown. It's like, I've got to get in there. What was it about downtown Chandler that intrigued you?
It reminds me still to this day of Tempe of the 60s and 70s, all local. It's really marvelous that we're not a chain downtown. We're all locally created, and it's spectacular. To me, it's sustainable through ups and down markets, because people love local, and there's an energy here where it's a regional attraction, not just a local suburban attraction. So people come from all over to experience the energy of downtown with, I don't know, what, 12, 13, 15 stages of live music, and again, all locally owned. So that was my attraction, and as a native and local and Chandler resident, I want to be a part of it.
Well, that's great. I'm going to double up on you here because we talked a little bit about New Square. That is an amazing property. We've got the distillery there. If you got now, are you getting ready to kind of grow that?
Yeah, phase 2. Fortunately, council just approved our phase 2. Our Hilton Garden Inn is done spectacular, way better than we anticipated. And so now we're going to add on 69 rooms, a conference center, and a 5,200 square foot Italian food restaurant owned by my dear friends Dino and Lori LaPlante, who own DC Steakhouse in New Square.
Well, that's great. Everything they touch tastes delicious.
Yeah.
So got a lot of things going on downtown, especially as we move into the cooler months here. Tell us a little bit more about DCCP and kind of what you see where we're at today. Like what's going on in downtown Chandler and the vibe.
There's a lot going on. New development, as Spike and Kim and you have mentioned. We have events happening. We have our pub crawl, Sippin' Santas is coming back,
That's
and
a
that's
hit.
an annual
I've heard
favorite
about
for
that.
sure. I just received an email from a lady arranging her travel plans. She has business travel and she wants to ensure that she's here for Sippin' Santas. And that's the thing that we're proud of, that we're really excited to continue to support year after year.
And we're, of course, having our tumbleweed tree lighting this year, as always, right? That's
Absolutely.
going to happen. That's a big draw for the entire community. So we're talking about development. We're talking about all the things going on events-wise. But, I mean, the projects that are happening in downtown right now, Kim, I mean, it's kind of hot.
We're hot. We have been, right? I think we've continued to see new businesses open up each and every year. We have several multifamily projects that are getting ready to be complete, and multifamily is important for the continuation of growth that we're going to see in downtown. So we have DC Heights that is just completing their phase 1. It's 157 multifamily units. They should be opening their doors literally within a week or two. So that's very exciting. If you haven't seen that, it's absolutely beautiful. We mentioned New Square phase 2, but then on the other side of the downtown, on the east of the downtown, we also have Encore, and that's another 208 units that is underway, and it should be completed somewhere in 2024. So all those extra bodies that will be in the downtown will really help recession-proof and strengthen our downtown and encourage more retail to come into the downtown as well.
Yeah, and I think there's a new project going on at Arizona and Chandler, right? Along with your expansion. What's that project called? I forget. Chandler and
One Chandler?
One Chandler,
One
thank you.
Chandler,
Yeah.
yes. One Chandler was recently approved. This was another properties that the city assembled. We put out an RFP. Interestingly, a developer had purchased the property to the north, and so we asked if they would like to work with us on a more robust project.
That's where the Guido's Taco Shop was, right?
Guido Tacos
Yeah,
used
oh,
to
that
be
was good,
there.
yeah.
Many people know this is where the Jack in the Box is, and we are building around the Jack in the Box. It will be 290 additional multifamily units. We'll have 16,000 square feet of commercial space on the ground.
Oh, wow.
The second floor will be about 13,000 square feet of office, so it's a true mixed use. All of the parking will be internal, and it'll be different sizes, but at the highest peak, it'll be 7 stories high. So this is really going to transform and set the bar for what we're going to see for downtown Chandler in the future.
That's incredible. So we're seeing some verticality in downtown, which is exciting.
That's where we want to be.
Yeah. So, and you mentioned parking. Just so you know, there's a lot of parking downtown. We've got our parking garages. We've got everything going on. Spike, I mean, we're talking about development. We're talking about the future. What do you see as a vision for downtown?
I just more the same. I hope that the leadership that exists now future leaders maintain that same ethic, which is very, very supportive of developers and business.
Yeah.
I mean, I've developed in other cities, and Chandler's special. You guys definitely know how to treat the private sector, and I just hope that that continues, and that we're all on the same team. You know, you've given me in the past, Chandler's given me expedited plan review, and always answered the bell when I needed you, and so I would just say continue the vision. And you know, let's just keep promoting the localness of our downtown, the energy that exists here.
Yeah, you make a really good point. I think I can speak for mayor and council when I say that we are 100% all in with our small business owners and our developers, right? Because you're creating jobs, you're creating opportunity for folks, and I think the great thing is like, especially with your projects, it's just about being good neighbors, right? You can create mixed use projects that fit within the framework of a neighborhood, and that's why, like we were talking before this started about, you know, these things just don't happen by accident. With Kim's team and DCCP and involved developers like you, working with neighborhoods, we have been able to create what I think is a crown jewel of Arizona, at least the East Valley. And so we're excited about all of those things, but like, what does the future look like for downtown Chandler? We talked about verticality. What's your take, Rebecca? What do you think?
Yeah, so we want to continue to have a welcoming place for locals and then invite visitors, right? We want to continue to grow that destination. And there's no place that you can go in the East Valley, as you mentioned, to stay and play. You can catch a comedy show, you can go to the Chandler Center for the Arts, you can catch the museum. There's live music 7 days a week, and you just can't find that anywhere. So we're super excited about continuing to move that forward.
Yeah, that's great. And Kim, we've got some really good, I mean, you got to talk about safety a little bit with any time you're doing nightlife and things like that. Tell us, other than the fact that Chandler just hit an all-time low for crime rate ever, we've got some special things going on with our public safety downtown too, to make it safe to come downtown.
Absolutely. We are proud that we are very safe. It is a very walkable downtown. We have 5 parking garages, and our downtown really is positioned in a way that you could be in any 5 of those parking garages at any time of the night and walk into the downtown. But we know the security is important, and we have bike teams that are always paroling, and they know all of the business owners, and they know that they're a phone call away, and they are popping in, saying hello, seeing if there's anything that they need. It's important to us that the people feel safe, and the business owners and the employees feel safe in their downtown.
That's a massive, massive part of it. And I'm sorry I didn't mention that earlier, but the safety is a big one. And Chief Duggins, our police chief, got here about the same time you did.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's retiring after a 10-year run, and our crime rate's just done this. And that is the perception, and the reality of that is so vitally important.
Yeah.
You know?
It's interesting you say that, because I mean, for somebody to take a chance or to invest in a city, those things factor in, and safety is, I think, one of the core responsibilities of a city.
We can look no further than Portland, Seattle, LA, San Francisco. I mean, developers are running from those cities for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, when you decide to invest millions of dollars in a downtown, you're on the same team as everybody in that city.
Yeah.
And so if you're not ideologically lined up on safety, cleanliness, you know, those are so important.
Yeah.
We actually have a downtown coordination meeting once a month, and we talk about all of these type of issues, because issues arise. And I can attest, and I think Spike can too, whenever there's been an issue, we'll ask the partner to come in with us, talk about what's been going on.
Yeah.
We have all the players around the table talking, figuring out how to fix the issue that's going on and make it better.
Yeah.
And I think that's the partnership that we try to have in the city.
And you've invited me to sit in on those, and I really appreciate that. It's really nice to see everybody getting together, talking about the issues at hand.
Yeah, that's great. It's about partnership, right? I mean, and the DCCP is sort of the lightning rod of bringing all these folks together so we can talk about this thing. But I got to ask you, like, if you were just talking to somebody on the camera right now and say, you got to get downtown, you got to check out these 2 or 3 spots, what's your picks?
Oh,
what are some new things? Maybe?
The hot spot. So there's something for everybody, and that's the exciting part. You know, Elliott Steakhouse just opened.
Oh, yeah.
And we have DC Steakhouse, that's amazing. And so, and Aqua de Mar. So those are all our fine dining opportunities.
Yeah.
But we have a fierce wing competition, right? When you think about Murphy's Law and you think
do have
about
good
Bourbon
wings.
Jack's, each week we argue about which place we're going to go for Wing Wednesday. But we also have Serrano's, a family that's been here for generations, Mexican food, right? And then we have the fresh and new Recreo, and we have La Ristra, Get Yo, tacos. So there's just so many opportunities to come down here and try something new every weekend. And that's really the exciting part and all the great things that we have to offer in downtown.
Yeah.
And don't forget the Speakeasy. The Ostrich is so fun. They have such a great team there. Lots of unique drinks and opportunities just to connect with new people. It's a really great spot.
It is, and it's a secret. I can't tell you where it is. You got to figure it out.
I know the password. Yeah.
But Spike, what about you? I mean, what's
Yeah,
your
I want to
go-tos?
emphasize the history as well.
Yeah.
And I do think we're a tourist destination. I don't think we should sell ourselves short on the ability for tourism. When you look at the history of San Marcos Hotel and his relationship to Frank Lloyd Wright, and the fact that the San Marcos Golf Course was the first irrigated golf course in the state, it hosted, along with Phoenix Country Club, the first ever Phoenix Open, which I'm a Thunderbird and help put on every year. So it's rich in history. Even though we have beautiful, exciting new developments, we also have a lot of history here.
That's true. And I'm really glad that you brought that up, because I think that's the coolest thing for me about Chandler is how we've tied in our past to our future, and we've always kept that a part of our of who we are. So I'm really glad you brought that up. So Kim, what are you digging right now?
I think I know the menu at every single place. So the Hidden House will always be a favorite. That feels so good at lunch, and it feels so good in the evening to look at the canal all lit up at night. I love Santan Brewery. Anthony is the godfather of downtown and what he's done.
Yes.
And I don't want to not mention him. And so, people come here just for that craft beer. I love Chop Shop. If you want healthy options, I think that's what's so great about downtown. We really have a lot of different options down here. If you want to eat healthy, there's options. If you want ice cream, we got options for you for that sweet tooth too.
I live in the hallway at Chop Shop. That building's 100 years old. And in the hallway, they did a great job of showing every tenant that existed it started out as a bank, but it was also.
That's on the wall of Saba's, right? On the back.
No, that too. The tunnel's great, pedestrian walk, but this is in their hallway at Chop Shop, and it shows you each tenant that was in that building, starting with the bank 100 years ago. Cocapelli Winery, remember, was in there at one point. But yeah, and then our pedestrian tunnel also has some great history and artwork next to Saba's, who's one of the pioneers down here.
Well, I'm a big fan of downtown. I love heading over to West Alley Barbecue for the R&B. I grew up on R&B, and so I just love going over and listening to live music. And you mentioned it earlier. The live music that's going on the weekends is a purposeful thing that we're doing, right? We want
7 days a week.
7 days.
Is it 7 days a week now?
Yeah, there's certain places that play music 7 days a week.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Listen, I am just delighted with everything y'all are doing. I think for the community, and I can speak on behalf of my neighbors, right, that we are grateful for the investment that you've made in downtown, the jobs you've created, investment in the vision on getting everybody together and organizing around a common purpose is important. And then Kim, what you've done in just the 9.5 years from when I started in council in 2016, and that dirt lot was across the way, and we were just dreaming one day that we could do some things, and then what it is today, it's hard to find a parking spot. You can find them, but it's hard to find a parking spot on Saturday nights downtown, and it's fun. Heck, anytime during the week. So it's exciting. Any last thoughts that you want to share with folks?
I think I would just like to say, if you haven't been downtown for a while, come on by. It'll look different today than it did 6 months ago, and it's going to look different yet another 6 months from now. So we continue to grow and yet still have that same downtown small community feel to it. And I think it's a welcoming place for all.
Yeah.
Spike, what
Buy local, eat, drink local, and come see the energy in downtown Chandler if you haven't. It's a special place. And rent a room at our Hilton and stay at night. make it a little staycation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Great
Yeah, 'cause it's
staycation place.
too far to drive back to South Chandler. Rent a room, Mark.
That's right. That's right. Rebecca, you want to take
Yeah.
us home here?
Yep, I was just going to say support local, come on down. It is welcoming for everybody. You can come casually in your flip-flops and your shorts, or you can dress up and hit one of the steakhouses. We really enjoy, supporting small and local business, and come on down, enjoy date night, ladies night. Any occasion is a good time to be in downtown Chandler.
Well, that's great. Thank you guys for being
Thanks for
here
having us.
and,
Thank
and for
you.
sharing these great stories. And hey, folks, we are focused on downtown. We're focused on a lot of things. And, the staff in Chandler is committed to customer service and making sure that you have a live, work, play community that you love. And hopefully you love downtown. Make it a point to get down here and spend some time, be with your fellow neighbors in your community. And that's what the town square is all about. So Downtown Chandler is the crown jewel of our community, and we're excited about it. So until the next show, thanks to my guests for being here today. And
Thank you.
thank you to you for your continued investment in Chandler. Have a great day.